Hi, welcome back. And in this video, we are going to talk about JavaScript primitive data types. Now, data types are of two types. We have the primitive data type and we have the non-primitive data type. But in this video, what we are going to do, we are going to discuss about the primitive data types, and we are going to start with this very first one, which is string. And in this video, all we are going to do is to give a little introduction of what these data types are, an example of how they work. And from there, we are going to look at individual data types and discuss it in more details. There are a lot of things to do with a single data type, like for the case of string, there's a lot of string manipulation you can do with it. But for this time, we are just going to give the little introduction of what they are. So to get started, I'll just give you a very quick explanation of what they are. For a string, for example, is a text or series of characters, but anything you enclose inside of a single or double quote is considered to be a string. And for numbers, any positive or negative integer that is, well, not higher than this number is considered a number, including infinity and a none or not a number that is also a value, but it's considered a number as well. All right. And then we have this Boolean, which is something that evaluates either to true or false. Any kind of, mathematical or any comparison operation that results in true or false is considered a Boolean, or using literal true or literal false. All right. And the next one is big int. In JavaScript, there are certain level a number can get high enough that it cannot be considered as a number anymore, but as a big int. So if a number is higher than this specific value, is considered to be a big int. For symbol, everything that is enclosed inside of this kind of object, or a constructor or a function, is considered a symbol. So it's kind of like a unique character or unique item created by enclosing something inside of this. All right. And then there is null, which represents the emptiness of a value. When there isn't anything inside of a value, it's considered to be a null. And for an undefined is anything that is not defined, like you've created a variable but you don't assign it to any kind of value, that is considered to be an undefined variable. All right, so I've made this little visual representation of what data types are. And for me, I would think of a data type as a little box. You see, we have a separate box for numbers. We have one for string. We have another one for Boolean. And we have another one for symbol. And then we have the very last one for big int. Of course, there are more data types, but in this case, I'm just going to give an example using this 5 right here. So for the case of number, just think of a number as any value that represents this specific, item. For example, a number can be a number or any integers, negative or positive integers, floating point, and infinity. Any numerical, kind of data, we consider that to be a number. For the case of string, for me, I would think of a string as a text. Also, anything enclosed inside of that single or double quotes, that is a string, as well as anything enclosed inside of a backticks is also considered a string. And the next one is Boolean. So anything that matches this description, we are going to put it inside of a string data type. And the next one is the Boolean, and anything that evaluates to true or false or 0 or 1, or any kind of manipulation, computational results that give us the result of true or false is considered a Boolean, or using literal true or false. For the symbol, I like to think of a symbol as a unique character or anything that is wrapped inside of this specific symbol constructor is called a symbol. And then for big int, I almost never come across a case where I have to check for a big int data type, but any number, very high number higher than this value, is a big int. So that is little about this little description and little visual representation of data type.